Hey, it's Lineage Vet. How are you doing today? I have put no kind of lotion on. What is good? What is good? It feels so good to be here live. I cannot tell you the last time that I went live. Hey, hello. It's Lineage Vet, CEO and founder of Upscale Noir, business development strategist, author, speaker, all that kind of good fun stuff. Today, we're going to be talking about how to go from a startup entrepreneur to an established CEO. So that's our conversation today. If you have a business, please let me know in the comments if you have a business. I like to give you guys opportunities to shout out your business. So if you are an entrepreneur and you have a business, please post it in the chat. I do not mind, what do they call it? Shameless plugs. So please feel free to throw a shameless plug out there. If you know me, you've been following me for a while, say what's up so I know who's in the building, who's in the room. We are on 8 different platforms, 9 actually. So I'm on Instagram right here on my cell phone. And then I'm on 8 different platforms through StreamYard. And we're going to have a good time today. I know I haven't been live in a minute, unless you've been watching Melanated Air. You've been seeing me on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But if you haven't been tuning into Melanated Air, you have not seen me in a minute. Hey, Rich King. Hey, Dana Leakes. Hey, Demetria Battle. Hey, Rich King McNeil. Hey, Anthony Raffin. Shout out your guys' businesses. If you've been following me, you know I love Black people. I love Black business. And I want to see you win, which is why we're having this conversation today. 10 keys to go from startup entrepreneur to established CEO. A lot of times people ask me, what does that even mean? That means that there are certain mindsets, pivots, shifts, actions that need to happen to go from being an entrepreneur who works for themselves tirelessly, bootstrapping, overwhelmed, stressed out. There's things that need to happen to go from that to an actual CEO who is getting checks while they're on vacation in Tahiti, right? Which is what most entrepreneurs want to do. They want to be a CEO. And that requires team, that requires cash flow. Hey, Shannon, what's good? And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Actually, my boobs ain't hanging out. Sorry, y'all. So any entrepreneurs in the building, wave your hand, give me a thumbs up, say what's up. Hey, Angela, you see I'm here, boo. I mean, no disrespect. I'm stroking this. Oh, my God. Okay, so we got to let Rich King go. He is over here doing the most. We're just going to go ahead and block him. Thank you kindly. So let's get into it. Again, if you are an entrepreneur, please feel free to post your information, because I definitely want to make sure that your Black-owned business gets some love and support during this holiday season. But let's get into it. Let's talk about the CEO mindset, okay? There is a difference between being an entrepreneur or somebody who's just starting their business and an actual CEO. And that is portrayed and seen by how you operate and run your business, okay? And actually, it's the difference between running a business and operating a business. Oftentimes, when we're first getting started in our business, we're running a business, and we are running after business. We're chasing business. We're tired. We're overwhelmed. We're spending money like crazy. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to do, and it's a track race, and it's difficult. But when you make this pivot and you make this shift into CEO, it becomes a little bit easier. And that's what we want to do. That's where we want to see Black-owned businesses. We want them to have CEOs, right? I'm sure you want to be a CEO. So if I say or mention something that sounds like you, give me a thumbs up. Let me know, okay? Also, feel free to go check me out I'm literally on multiple platforms right now. So depending on where you're watching me and following me, you can follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook at I Am Lineage Vet. All right. So if one of these principles are not in any order, but there are 10 of them. Okay. The first one that we have is decision, not precision. I love talking to entrepreneurs about this because a lot of times when you're first starting your business, you can get analysis paralysis where you want everything to be perfect. And a lot of times when you are transitioning from entrepreneur to CEO, things are not going to be perfect, okay? Your business does not have to operate at 100% perfect. And I know a lot of times people won't tell you that. Nobody's going to tell you don't have to have a 100% perfect business. You don't. And I like to use the example of Apple when I tell people this, because Apple puts out a raggedy ass phone every single year. And every single year, people go and stand in line to get that phone. and they go and stand in line to get that phone before they work out the bugs, before they know what works, before they run, all the tests. But people will still go out there and buy that phone that's 70% together. The Apple throws out the phone like, we pretty much so got it figured out. We're not sure what's wrong. We're going to put the phone out and then you tell us what's wrong, right? So you don't have to have a 100% perfect product or service when you're doing your business, but you do want to operate from a spirit of excellence. Okay. You do want to operate from a spirit of excellence. Apple does have an excellent brand. They do have an excellent product, even though they may throw it out. And even though they may put it out every year and it's not operating at the highest level. Okay. So when you're thinking about making that transition from entrepreneur to CEO and you're putting out your products and you're putting together your services, just know that you want to make precise decisions. They don't have to be perfect decisions, but you do want to make sure that they're precise. Okay. So I have these notes. I'm in the process of writing a new program. And so I'm running through my 10 steps on you guys. You guys are the first people to hear them. So you will see me looking at my notes just to make sure I touched on all the points that I want to cover. So understanding that every decision you make in your business does not have to be 100% perfect. Rather, you should be more focused on making the right strategic decisions in a timely manner. Strategy and timing are two of the most important things to consider when making decisions. So that is one crucial thing that you should be thinking about if you're trying to make that transition from being a overwhelmed entrepreneur to an established CEO. Make choices and decisions for your business that are in line with your strategy, even if they're not 100% perfect. Make sure that they are operating from a spirit of excellence. Okay. All right. So, and the reason why that is you want to prevent analysis paralysis. All right. If I say something and you're not sure what it is, or you want more information, let me know, put it in the comments. I will try to check the comments as I'm going. All right. So the second thing you want to be thinking about when you're trying to transition from a startup entrepreneur to a more established CEO is operating. You'll notice I won't say run a business. You're going to notice I'm going to say operating a business, because there's a difference between running a business and operating a business. So you will focus on operating your business from the top down instead of the bottom up. And you're probably thinking, Lene, what are you talking about? What does that mean? Well, when you focus from the top down and not the bottom up, which is one of the biggest mistakes that CEOs and entrepreneurs of small businesses make in remaining stuck inside their businesses, you focus on working in the business and looking at the daily tasks that need to be done. And you rarely take a moment to think about the future of the business. When you're thinking about having a CEO mindset, being able to think ahead and plan where your business is going and how it's going to get there is where you work from the top down. So when you're working from the bottom up, a lot of times you're in the day-to-day tasks, the admin work, the emails. And when you think like a CEO, you should be operating on your high level, you're innovative, you're creative, and you're operating up here. And when you have to drop down to the daily task, it takes you out of CEO, creative, innovative mindset. So if you operate your business from the top down and you're thinking about what are the things that need to happen in my business, you're forecasting what's going to happen in the future. You're thinking 3 to 5 years ahead. You're thinking about who you need to put in your team. That's how you want to be operating your business, not down here in the mucky muck, right? That's when you want to start thinking about contracting people that can help you to do your business. Because when a CEO can't fly high and they have to drop down into the admin work and try to come back to creative and then drop down into the collecting invoice and then go back to creative, it makes it difficult and you can fall out of CEO mode. Has anybody ever had that happen where you get distracted or you're trying to put something together, write a program, produce a product, get something out, and then you have to drop down out of CEO mode to handle something that's administrative? So one of the pivots that you want to be thinking about in going from a startup entrepreneur to an established CEO is operating your business from the top down instead of the bottom up, right? You are the CEO. You shouldn't be down here in the mucky muck at the bottom. Stay at the top of your organization, okay? All right, coolio. All right, so that's the top down, not the bottom up. So another thing that you can do, and I actually have activities and exercises for each one of these, points that I'm making to walk you through what does that look like, Lene? Like, how do I operate my business from the top down and not the bottom up? Like, I actually have activities that I walk my clients through to help them do this. But let's go to number 3. Number 3 is a difficult one for entrepreneurs, myself included, and I'm a Virgo, so it's very difficult for me. And that is relinquishing control. Let the church say amen. You have to relinquish control in order to take control. So we know that entrepreneurs are control freaks. That's why we're an entrepreneur. We want to be in control of our life. We want to be in control of our money. We want to be in control of our freedom, right? We want to do things our own way. And sometimes we fool ourselves into thinking that nobody can do anything as well as we can. My OBM is over here in the chat giving me eyeballs because I am guilty as hell of this one. Look at the church. The church said every day, amen. I see y'all over here. Look at amen. I got the amen. The every day. I got raised hands over here. Kiana Todd said, man, look, I get it. I understand. So as much as we like to believe we're the best of the best at everything that we do, this mindset usually ends up working against us. Why is that? That's because we end up becoming the bottleneck of our company and getting in our own way. I'm just to tell y'all the truth. Literally, when you're an entrepreneur, you can literally get in your own way and become the bottleneck of your company if you don't think and operate like a CEO. There's only so much one person can do within a business. Okay, you got to delegate tasks and authority. By relinquishing control to other members of your team, you gain more control of the business because now you have to focus on actually growing the business. Now, I know what you're thinking. I already know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what if I don't got a team? I know that's what you're thinking. If you do not have a team, outsource, okay? Outsource. And there's multiple ways that you can outsource. You can use Fiverr, you can use Upwork. And now I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Lene, what if I don't got no Fiverr, Upwork money? I knew that's what you was thinking. If you don't have Fiverr, Upwork money, that's when you start bringing people who you know, like, and trust, who know how to do something, like they can take actual instructions, and you bring those individuals on your team. They might be family, they might not. They might be friends, they might not. They might be colleagues, they might not. But you can literally start growing your team with people that you know and train them to help you be able to relinquish some control, okay? Rachel said, got to let go of control. You have to. Ashley says you got to have a solid circle. Outsource is the second best. Yes, ma'am. Hey, looking fabulous as usual. What up, Nika? Hey, Instagram. So I got Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Pop, lock, and drop it. All right. So that's number 3. Relinquish control in order to take control. If you want to move out of the startup entrepreneur mindset into more of a CEO mindset that operates a business, your Tunde Shorters. What's good, sis? All right, so let's cover. We're going to backtrack. What are the first 3 things? And again, these are not in any particular order. 3 things that can take you from startup entrepreneur to established CEO mindset. Number 1 is making the proper decisions, not relying on precision. Again, think Apple. Apple is not precise. They throw it out there and figure it out as they go. So execute. Okay. Number 2, operate your business from the top down, not the bottom up. Okay. Stay high, mindset, innovation, creativity. Don't get caught down in the mucky muck because it takes you out of CEO mode. Number 3, relinquish control in order to take control. You don't have to do everything, okay? Now that takes me to number 4, which is delegate. Delegate is not a bad D word, okay? Delegate is a good D word. Delegating and relinquishing control are 2 different things, and I want to make sure that we understand that, okay? You can delegate tasks while maintaining complete control of your company. As the CEO of your business, you already have enough on your plate. Like, you should have a lot of stuff on your plate, and you shouldn't be trying to do everything. So why not delegate tasks to other people? Now, I'm going to tell you the number 1 reason why people don't delegate tasks. And I want you to tell me in the comments if I'm right. Okay. I'm going to tell you the reason. You tell me if I'm right. Tell me if I'm preaching. Okay. The number 1 reason why people do not delegate is because they don't have the right systems and processes in place. You cannot delegate to somebody else if you can't tell them what to do. Ooh, ooh, ooh. If you haven't actually laid your business out, this is the process. This is how you do it. This is what you do. This is how you answer the phone. This is how you reply. This is how I do my website. This is how I get back to people. If you haven't actually laid out your processes, it's very difficult to delegate because you don't know what to tell. You don't know what or how to tell somebody to do something. Ooh-wee. Somebody said preach. Somebody said say that. On Facebook, I have another great point. That's exactly it. I'm just saying. So one way to transition from an overwhelmed entrepreneur or startup entrepreneur to an established CEO is to learn how to delegate so that you can increase your capacity. In order to do that, you have to get specific about the tasks that need to be done. Right? You'll struggle to maintain consistent quality and standards across your business if you don't. How many of you guys are familiar with SOPs? How many people know what SOPs are? If I say SOPs, do you guys know what that is? I just want to know. I'm talking that business talk to y'all, so I'm trying to see if y'all understand these business terminologies. SOP. Who can tell me what an SOP is? Who's the first person to tell me what an SOP is? Let me see. I don't have any of my books right here, but I'm gonna send you or give you something. Nika Mack, that's my girl. That's my client. I know she know. So Roses Be Roses says standard operating. She didn't throw you forgot the procedures, Roses. But Nika says standard operating procedures. Yes. We as Black-owned businesses and entrepreneurs, we lack in SOPs. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to tell you because I'm your friend and I love you, okay? We have to do better about having standard operating procedures. If you go down, if you get sick, Lord forbid something happens to you and somebody has to step in and operate your business for you, how will they do it if they don't know what to do? Okay. That's part of transitioning from an entrepreneur to a CEO. When you walk into a corporation on your first day, they got SOPs, they got onboarding, they can tell you everything about that business. As entrepreneurs, we need to have those things in our business too. That's what separates an entrepreneur from a business owner from a CEO. How you operate, not run your business. Okay. So SOPs are important. Okay. You want to create systems and processes for the tasks that you want to delegate to help to maintain consistent quality and output. Okay. All right. So number 5, and again, these are not in any particular order. I'm just going through my 10 that I created. So number 5 is to create repeatable processes for when things go right, which just reinforces the last principle, right? If you do something and it works, you make $100,000, you shorten your time, people like what you did, you get a good response. You want to know how you did it, right? What did I just do? How did I do it? Because what? You want to do it again. So you want to make sure that you are creating repeatable processes for when things go right, and you're documenting that process in your standard operating procedures. Okay. Dr. Will says systems allow me to be on the golf course right now. Exactly. And that's what separates a CEO from a business owner, from an entrepreneur. The CEO is hanging out, chilling on the golf course in Tahiti, at the concert, doing what he wants to do when he or she wants to, while everybody else is working. As entrepreneurs, we are a team no sleep, and we're staying up all night, and we're working hard, and and for some, it's a rite of passage, right? When you first start your business, you have to grind. You got to be team no sleep. You have to be up late. But about 2 to 5 years in, you want to transcend to CEO, where you're not having to put that many hours into your business. You have processes and systems and automation in place so that your business operates whether you're there or not there. Checks are being collected while you're hanging out on the beach. That is the difference between an entrepreneur who's overwhelmed and stressed out in their business versus an established CEO. Okay. And we as Black people, Black business owners, that's where we need to get to. We need to go from startup entrepreneur to established CEO. Okay. So number 5, create repeatable processes for when things go right. Okay. And these can happen through your SOPs. All right. Number 6, we have 10. I'll back up. I'll do the first 5 just for those of you that just tuned in. Number 1, decision and not precision. Think Apple. They are not precise when they throw that iPhone out there. They throw it out and then they ask you what's wrong with it. And then you give your input and then they fix it. Okay. So it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. It does have to be excellent. Should be excellent, but not perfect. Number 2, operate your business from the top down and not the bottom up. Don't focus so much on working in the business that you don't have time to work on the business. Okay. Think about the future of your business. Where is it going? How is it getting there? How are you going to grow it? Not just what's happening right here today. Okay. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years down the line. Number 3, relinquish control to take control. Do not be the bottleneck in your business. Get out of your own way. Let someone else help you. Number 4, delegate to increase capacity. You have to be able to delegate tasks to other people. Again, part of that is making sure that you have SOPs in place so that you can actually delegate. You can't delegate if nobody knows what to do. So you have to make sure that people know what to do if you're going to delegate. None of that, I can do it faster myself. Well, yeah, you can do it faster yourself because you haven't put any process in place to let somebody else do it. So do that. Number 5, create repeatable processes for when things go right. That way you can do them over and over and over again. Okay. Number 6, simplify, measure, and optimize. Ooh, that's good. Simplify, measure, and optimize. Okay. So anyways, one of the worst things you can do as a CEO or a small business owner or entrepreneur is to overcomplicate things for other people, which are the people that would be coming to help you, that you're going to delegate to. You want to keep things as simple as possible so that they can be repeated consistently, which is what we just talked about. So you want to be thinking about how can you optimize your processes inside of your business so that your business can still grow. If you make things more complicated than they need to be, people will struggle to follow, and that can end up having people take shortcuts, sacrificing things like quality and consistency. Again, this is why having SOPs is super important for your business. It's also the reason why people don't delegate. It's also the reason why people end up having to do everything in their business because they haven't laid out a framework or a model for somebody else to step in, which is why you end up running after the business and have to work your business every day. Okay, so you gotta learn how to transcend from entrepreneur to CEO. Some of that is by simplifying your process, putting a process in place to measure, and then optimizing that process. So you want to try to simplify things in your business and measure the results. Understand what metrics you want to measure and keep track of the results to help you identify what is working and what isn't. Because you don't want to keep doing the same thing that's not working. If you are running an ad and you're not getting any traction, any money, any sales, stop running that damn ad. If you are going to the same event as a vendor and nobody's paying you, you're not making money, stop going to that place and vending. Like, what's working is just as important as what's not working. And a thing that I see a lot of times, unfortunately, in Black-owned businesses is we aren't keeping tracks with we aren't keeping up with our KPIs. Now, who knows what a KPI is? We talking that business talk. So what is a KPI? Who can tell me what a KPI is? Hey, Margot. Who knows what a KPI is? I'm looking to see who can tell me. We're using business language on the live today. I want to see who knows what the KPI is. Nobody has said it yet, so I'm going to throw it on out there. Okay, there we go, Snowman, Renee Bonds. Okay, key performance indicators. Exactly. We inspire. Yes, come on now. Yes, talk business to me. Talk business to me. Okay, key performance indicators. Exactly. Now, y'all said what they are. No shade. No shade. Who is keeping track of their KPIs? Who actually can say, I know what my KPIs are. I know what I'm tracking. I know what I'm looking for. I look at my numbers on a regular basis. This is no shade, no shade. But I want to know. I just want to know. Again, we all cousins on here. So there's no shade if you do or do not. I mean, it's hand claps if you do, but it's no shade if you don't. The whole purpose of this conversation is because I want to help you go from an entrepreneur who's struggling in your business to an established CEO who has processes and systems in place, who can measure their performance, who knows what's working in their business, who can repeat what's working in their business. Okay, nobody said anything, so I'm going to assume that you guys are. I ain't gonna throw nobody under the bus. Okay, I don't want to throw nobody under the bus. All right, so number 6, simplify, measure, and optimize. Okay. Number 7 is you want to manage risk, but learn when things go wrong. I see a lot of entrepreneurs, before they get to that CEO level, you hold on tight to what it is that you have and what you're doing in an effort to manage risk. So you don't invest in yourself. You don't go to classes. You're not necessarily investing in coaching because you're not sure what's going to happen in your business. You're not sure about the money. And some of that is right. Unfortunately, we do not live in a perfect world. Things can and will go wrong. But that doesn't mean you have to throw in the towel for your business. When we're talking about managing risk, it's the best way to prepare for when things don't go according to plan. A lot of times when we are writing a business plan or we're preparing for our business, we're writing all the things that are going to happen. We're going to make this many sales to this many people. We're going to market like this. But we don't have a plan B or C for if that doesn't happen. What if nobody buys? What if nobody shows up? What if you bet it all and you didn't get it all back, right? So part of being going from entrepreneur to CEO is managing your risks, right? You want to create an A, a B, and a C plan for if things do happen to go belly up. You want to take time to really think about how you will react if things don't go right. At times like that, you should also look for opportunities to learn amidst the chaos. I will tell you, and depending on how long you follow me, you already know I had a $10,000 mistake in the first year of my entrepreneur career. $10,000. And I don't know about you, but when you're first starting a business, $10,000 is a lot of money. Okay. So when I first started my business, I wanted to have this super dope, extravagant website. And so my first quote was $22,000. And I was like, I'm not paying $22,000 for a website. My second quote was $17,000, which was crazy. And then my third quote was $8,500. So I was like, boom, I'll pay $8,500 for the website, considering my first quote was $22,000. And again, I wanted this website to be custom. I wanted it to be created from the ground up. I wanted it to be coded. You know, I'm talking the talk and I'm letting my person know what I want to do. And they were like, okay, $8,500. I'm like, bet. And so I wrote them a check for $8,500. And then I didn't get $8,500 worth of work. What I got was the site can't do that. Okay, hold on. Well, what about this? The site can't do that. Well, this doesn't sound custom. Like if I paid $8,500 for a custom site and the site's not working, something's not right. Well, lo and behold, come to find out this person was a website designer and not a website developer, which means that they could not customize websites. So they were managing the process of creating my website, and the website was actually being built on a WordPress theme. Imagine my surprise, right? So after that, I ended up hiring my own developer for $2,500. Oh, you know what? That's actually $11,000. But anyways, I ended up hiring my own graphic designer developer for $2,500. And she taught me how to do my website. She showed me how to develop it. She showed me how to work it. She showed me how to create pages and to develop it and whatnot. So $10,000 later, I actually had a website that I launched. Okay. I'm sorry. At $10,000 later, I had a website. But I didn't like that website because now everybody had seen it. I'd done my focus group and everybody had tested it. And I was like, I don't want nobody to see this. So I ended up creating a new website. That website cost me $65. $65. That $65 website is the website that I launched my business on. That $65 website is the website where I raised $10,000 in crowdfunding. That $65 website is the website that I launched to 3 million page viewers from 1 million guests in less than 7 months. That $65 website is what garnered me to have access to 214 countries and territories. That's $65 website. So the moral of this story is I took a $10,000 loss built my own website for $65. That fame and notoriety, if you will, catapulted me into a business development strategist, which is what I do now. And I have probably made back $30,000 to $40,000 in revenue from building websites. So why did I tell you that story? Because number 7, managing risk for learning when things go wrong. I took that $10,000 loss early in my career and learned from it. I learned how to make websites. I learned the difference between a developer and a designer. I learned what conversations I need to have. I learned what questions to ask. Like, a loss is not a loss unless you lose. If you don't lose and you learn, it's not a loss. So I've probably tripled my money that I lost from that experience. Okay. So number 7, manage risk by learning when things go wrong. It's okay if something doesn't go right, learn from it. Don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to jump out there and lean into your business and lean into investing in yourself and your craft. Okay. All right. Number 8 is one of my favorites. Plan, strategize, and execute. The reason why this is one of my favorites is because a lot of times people forget strategize, which is why I have a job. So a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we plan, right? You sit down and you write out a plan for your business and you're like, this is what I'm going to do. And then the plan is there, but there's no strategy. Let me tell you how CEOs strategize. And I'm going to tell you this because this is the reason why I left my corporate job. I used to work for a billion with a B, a $1 billion aerospace company. Aerospace. So this is high-end, business, $1 billion aerospace company. It was the CEO of the business, the president, and then me, little blackface, right? And do you know what they did all day, every day? Strategize. Like, the whole business was built around strategies. We used to do a strap every year. Every year we did strap. And I asked my boss one time, I was like, why do you guys sit down and look at the strategy every single year? He was like, because things change. And so while I was working there, I got my bachelor's degree. And then I got my master's degree, my MBA, my master's in business administration. And while I was getting my MBA, he would ask me questions. Things like, the staff is thinking about going out on a strike. What do you think we should do? Should we meet their needs? Should we not meet their needs? Should we go to the union? What do you think? And I'd be like, well, we can't operate without staff. We got to have staff. So we need to meet their needs. And he would be like, no, we don't meet their needs today because in 3 years, we're going to be doing some layoffs. So there's no point in meeting their needs now. And we can prevent doing layoffs in 3 years by reducing our staff now. In 5 years, we're going to be introducing a new product, in which case we'll bring more people back. In 7 years, the new Boeing 7 blah, blah, blah is going to be introduced. And so at year 10, we'll re-up our employees. And I would be like, damn, like y'all know all that? Like this decision today impacts year 3, year 5, year 7, and year 10. That is a strategy. We don't do that enough in our businesses as entrepreneurs. Part of being a CEO is thinking strategically. You have to have a strategy for your business. Don't just plan, strategize. You can't just go from plan to execute. You got to plan, you got to strategize, and then you have to execute. Okay, strategizing is super important. And unfortunately, not a lot of people know how to do it, which is why I do what I do as a business development strategist, especially in our community, because we skip over developing our business. We skip over strategizing for our business. And it causes us to be an entrepreneur for a very long time. We don't ever get to go to business owner. We don't ever get to become a CEO. We just operate as an entrepreneur forever. Tired, stressed out, frustrated, not making the money we're supposed to make because we don't have a strategy in place. Strategizing is looking at year 3, year 5, year 7, year 10. Forecasting, what's about to happen? What are we going to do? What are we going to launch? What's our new product? Who are we going to partner with? Like you have to think before you in order to operate like a CEO. Okay. And this is, again, these are just pivots and tips to go from being a startup entrepreneur to an established CEO. Okay. So plan, strategize, execute. Okay. Do not get caught up with shiny object syndrome, SOS. Do you guys know what shiny object syndrome is? So shiny object syndrome is the tendency to chase something new and shiny all the time. You might be working on a great business idea when suddenly a new idea pops into your mind. That's me. You abandon the old idea and chase the new one until something shinier catches your attention. However, shiny object syndrome, it's a double-edged sword because it can also spark innovation, creativity, and growth. So you just have to know what you are chasing, right? I am a big squirrel and I'm off. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta do that. Oh, I gotta do that. It's a blessing and a curse. Sometimes it helps me to innovate and create and come up with ideas and new businesses and new products and new services. Boom, 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 boom. And other times it has me stuck because I'm trying to do too many things at once, right? CEOs don't do that. One thing at a time. Develop this thing, right? Not analysis paralysis. Think strategically. Is this shiny new thing in alignment with your objectives, your visions, and your goal for the business? That's what you have to ask yourself. When the next shiny new thing pops up, or I think I want to do this, or I think I want to try this, or I think I want to go here, does it align with my business? Does it align with my strategy? Does it align with what I'm supposed to be doing and where I'm supposed to be at in my business? Because that's how a CEO thinks, okay? All right, so number 9, when you're thinking about transitioning or transcending from entrepreneur to CEO, you want to be thinking about budgeting, forecasting, and making sure that you have cash flow, money in the bank. All right. So be thinking about, and I know this is kind of a delicate conversation for entrepreneurs. It really is a delicate conversation when you're an entrepreneur. But the thing is, you want to go from strapped, overwhelmed entrepreneur to established CEO who has cash money in the bank, who's budgeting that money, and who's forecasting what's going to be happening in year 3, 5, 7, and 10. Okay. These are some pivots that you'll want to be thinking about and making as you go from entrepreneur to CEO. This is the mindset of what a CEO thinks about and how they operate. And that's what separates entrepreneurs from true CEOs. Okay. So forecasting, budgeting, and ensuring that you have continuous cash flow. There should be money in the bank. You should be budgeting. You should be knowing what how much you're spending on marketing, how much you're investing in advertising, building your team, developing products and services. Like all of that stuff should be a part of your thought process, not just what's happening right here, right now in your business. Okay. Because you can't grow from that. You can't develop new products from that. You can't develop a team from there. You won't know what you're going to be doing in year 5. Right. And I mean, especially talking about investments, like there's just things that you have to be thinking about and considering when you're talking about going from an entrepreneur to a CEO. Okay. And then number 10, which is one of my favorites, and really 10 could be one, but since these are not in any particular order, I like to end with this one, which is patience and discipline, not fear and greed. Scared money don't make no money, right? I know y'all have heard that. Scared money don't make no money. And greedy people get fat. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Damn it. That's probably not the nice thing to say. Scratch what I just said. That was a little bit aggressive and rude. But we're talking about it from the business perspective, not the physical perspective. Okay. Talking about it from the business perspective, not the physical perspective. Okay. So I don't want to offend anybody. So let me make sure I say this is the business perspective, not physical perspective. Okay. Growing a business, it takes time. Okay. Sometimes it can be easy to get caught up in your emotions to a point where you're running the business on those emotions. And many businesses have failed catastrophically because the business owner let their emotions run the business. Okay. If you run your business out of fear or greed, you're more likely to get paralyzed when making important decisions. You might even avoid taking calculated risks too because you are so consumed with fear or failure. And a lot of entrepreneurs operate like this. What you want to do is embrace a different mindset of patience and discipline. Okay. You want to start changing those beliefs. You want to start thinking differently about your business. You want to start scaling for a successful business. And what I want you guys to know is a successful business doesn't happen overnight. It just doesn't. Sometimes we hear overnight success. No, ma'am. No, sir. They're not an overnight success. They've been working on that business for 10 years. Okay, that's 10 years in the making. You just found out about it overnight. So have patience with yourself. Have patience in your business. Be disciplined in your business. Don't operate from fear. Challenge your limiting beliefs. Another thing that CEOs do is they know their leadership style. If you have not taken a leadership assessment, I challenge you to do one. Take a leadership assessment. Learn how you lead. Learn your strengths and weaknesses. Learn what you're good at. Learn about you. Because if you learn more about you as a CEO, it will help you operate your business better. You'll better know, what works for you, what style works for you. Are you a morning person or are you afternoon person? Are you aggressive? Are you introvert? Are you extrovert? Like there's a lot of things that you may not know about yourself. And then you wonder why your business isn't doing well. If you're an introvert, then you might struggle with sales, which means you have to hire somebody to do sales for you. If you're an extrovert or you're aggressive, you might, challenge people or be confrontational. People may not want to buy from you. So you have to know about who you are so that you can better create your team and the contract employees that you may hire or affiliated work with. You need to know these things about you, especially if your business is struggling. There are things that you can do to help support your business as a CEO and building a team if you better know who you are and what you do and how you operate and how you deal with other people. Okay. Yes, Anthony Ruffin, a SWOT analysis, SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So I'll run back through these 10 real fast. Let me tell you the 10, just so you will know. What I will tell you is I'm in the process of writing a new program called the Upscale Business Accelerator, where I'm going to be focusing on 6 key areas with Black entrepreneurs. Those 6 key areas are sales, marketing, operations, branding, legal, and financial. And so I'm putting the program together right now. I'm starting out with CEO mindset. So this is kind of the framework. And so I'm kind of introducing you guys to it. Each one of these 10 keys has exercises that go with them so that an entrepreneur or business owner can actually work through it. Where am I at? What am I doing? How do I fix this? How do I forecast? So if these are things that you don't know how to do, I want to make sure that Black business owners know how to do these things. So these are the 10 keys to shift from a startup entrepreneur to a CEO. Number 1, decision, not precision. Your business does not have to be 100% perfect. Okay. Again, think Apple. You do want to operate in excellence, but not necessarily perfection. Okay. Apple doesn't operate in perfection. They operate in, you're going to get this new iPhone every year, and then we're going to figure out how to make it work. Number 2, you want to operate from the top down, not the bottom up. Don't try to run your business as the admin. You have to operate your business as the CEO from the top. Okay. Number 3, relinquish control to take control. Do not be the bottleneck in your company. Get out of your own way. You don't have to do everything. That's what teams are for. That's what outsourcing is for. That's what volunteers are for. That's what interns are for. Number 4, you want to be able to delegate to increase capacity. Again, the number 1 reason why people don't delegate is because they don't have the right systems and processes in place. So make sure that you take the time to write your systems out, create processes. SOPs are really good for this. If you don't have any, think about creating some. If you're not sure what those are or how to do them, I'll be teaching that here real soon. Number 5, create repeatable processes for when things go right. That is what your SOPs do. They reinforce that so that you can always have somebody else step into your organization, your business, and operate it, and repeat the processes that work. Okay. Number 6, simplify, measure, and optimize. You want to simplify your business practices, your business processes. You want to put automation into your business. You want it to operate so that you can be on the golf course, on the beach with your homegirls, at the Super Bowl with your homeboys, and still be collecting checks. So in order to do that, you have to simplify your processes. You have to be able to measure to see what works and what's not working. And then you have to be able to optimize those systems and processes to make sure that they are working to the best of their abilities. Okay. Number 7, you want to manage risk, but learn when things go wrong. Again, you don't lose unless you lose, right? If you learn from a loss, it's not a loss. It's a learning opportunity. Okay. So remember that. step out. Don't be afraid. Manage your risk. Have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. If things go wrong, you want to be prepared for them. Don't just think about all the good stuff that's going to happen in your business, all the money you're going to make. Also think about what's going to happen if things don't go right. What are you going to do? What does that look like? Even acquisition. We don't talk about that enough in the Black community because we always think that we're supposed to grow this business and hold on to it. Sometimes you're going to grow a business to sell it. So what does your exit strategy look like? How are you going to sell it? Sometimes that is the end result. I know a lot of people got upset with BET and Carol's Daughter and Shea Moisture. Sometimes you grow a business and you get it as far as it can go, and then you sell it. You take that money and you invest it and you do something different. All businesses are not meant to be kept. Okay. So what does that look like for you? Number 8, plan, strategize, and execute. Don't just make plans for your business without reinforcing it with the strategy. The plan tells you what you want to happen. The strategy tells you how you're going to make it happen. And if you don't have a strategy, it's going to be very difficult to execute. Okay. Number 9, budget, forecast, and ensure continuous cash flow. Know how much money you have in the bank. Know how much it costs to run a marketing campaign, to get and do investments, investments in inventory for your business. Be thinking about how you're going to forecast what's happening in years 3, 5, 7, 10, and then budget. You know what I'm saying? So just making sure, don't be afraid of your numbers. As entrepreneurs, sometimes you can be afraid of your numbers. Like, I don't know if I made enough money this month, or I don't know if I'm doing well. That's okay. Look to see what the numbers say. How much money is it going to cost? How can you grow? How can you double up? How much cash do you have? What do you have to invest in? Like, budget, forecast, and ensure continuous cash flow are ways that you can go from being a startup entrepreneur who's stressed out and overwhelmed to an established CEO who's chilling on the beach and getting money. And then number 10, which is the last one, be patient and have discipline. Don't operate from out of fear and greed. Invest in yourself, invest in your business. Know who you are, understand your limiting beliefs, know your leadership style, what works for you, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, who your competitors are. Know that you have competitors. I hear a lot of entrepreneurs like, I don't got no competition. I'm just me. Well, no, boo, you do. That's why it's called an industry. So know your industry. Know who's in your industry. And strategic alignments, transitioning from an entrepreneur to a CEO, it's real. And we lack that a lot of times. And some of that comes from just not knowing, right? Not knowing how to develop a business, not understanding these various areas of business, being the first person to start a business in our family. There's just things that we miss. There's gaps in our knowledge, right? And so these things and these tools, these 10 things I've given you are there to help you to level up, to upscale your business, to get it to the next level. And like I said, I will be doing a deeper dive in these different areas in my Upscale Business Accelerator that I will be launching in January. But as I write it, I'm going to be delivering it. I want to be talking about it to you guys. So today we talked about the CEO mindset. And then later this week, I will be talking about customer experience. Again, something that we don't talk about a lot. A lot of times people focus on customer service, but there's this other thing out called customer experience. And so if you're not familiar with customer experience, what it is and how it operates, what to do with it, how to execute it, how to roll it out, make sure you go and follow me at I am Lene Javette on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, so that you can be alerted when I go live this week and catch up on that conversation so that you can make sure that your customers' experience is excellent. Again, not perfect, but excellent. Okay. All right, cool. All right. Any questions before I go? Any questions before I go? Shannon said, this is awesome stuff here. Thanks. You are welcome. Lanika says, amen. Hey, boo. Loving this. Thank you. You are welcome, Reginald. Hey, Dennis. You are so sharp, young cuz. Bless you. Happy holidays. Same to you. Yes, I did walk on fire. I'm officially a firewalker. Will the replay be available? I didn't quite get 1 and 2. Hey, Ruth, the replay will be available. Whatever platform you're watching it on right now, it will stay on. And so you can watch the replay. Dante said, great stuff. Thank you so much. Christine said, I'll watch the replay, just joined in. You rock as always. Thank you. Mr. Short Stroke. Ha! Are you married is my question. I am not married, not dating, not nothing. But anyways, I digress. Renee says, how can I get you to speak at our next event? Hey, Renee, inbox me, email me. If my OB is on here. Okay, so my email, you're on Facebook, inbox me, or just you can shoot me an email. My email is mogul, mogul, mogul at Lene Javette. So mogul at my name. So mogul at lenejavette.com is my email. So just shoot me an email, we can talk. How often do I go live? Cindy, you know what? I used to go live every day. I have not been online probably through the pandemic. I will tell you for good reason. And this is not to boast or brag, but I'm going to tell you, the last 2 years, the COVID have been good to me and my business. Like I'm busting at the seams. I have so much business. People wanting to start a business, grow their business, upscale their business, want to coach, want to take a course, want to take a class. And so I have not had time to go live as much as I used to. But because I have so much going on, I want to try to reformat my business where I'm helping more Black people at a time. And so I'm creating this upscale business accelerator so that I can help more people quicker, sooner, faster. And so I'll be going live more often. So my goal is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So the goal is to go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's the goal. So we'll see how it goes. Okay. He said, on my way with money and a ring. Ha! Debbie said, just join, would love to hear from the start. Yes, Debbie, you can watch the replay. The replay will be back up. Logo looks good. Thank you so much. I feel you, COVID has been a blessing for me. Yeah, it's been, man, people have been investing in themselves. You see the most people in all of history have left their job, have quit their job. And a lot of people are starting businesses right now. And so business is good. Business is good. The Black Discovery Challenge said, you are amazing. Love the information. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Snowman said, thanks for sharing. Dante says, do you offer advice / consultation to nonprofit organizations? That is a loaded question. I'm going to answer to the best that I can. I know what you're asking me. So I have 2 things that I do for people. One is a free 15-minute virtual coffee chat where you can get me on the phone. You can ask me a question, right? For 15, I chit-chat, talk to you for 15 minutes. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. I had to start charging for the Pick My Brains because everybody's in my inbox like, can I pick your brain? Can I pick your brain? We look at this. Can I pick your brain? And so my pick your brains are not expensive. It's $30. It's 30 minutes for $99. So you can either do a quick 15-minute virtual coffee chat with me, ask me a quick question, which I don't mind. I love helping Black people, Black entrepreneurs. Or you can do a pick my brain, which is 30 minutes on my calendar, and we can chop it up. Now, those are different from my strategy sessions. My strategy sessions are just that. They are an hour and a half. I dig into your business. My strategy sessions start with an intake questionnaire. It's like 20 questions. Who are you? What is your business? What are you doing with your business? Where do you see your business going? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What have you tried? What worked? What didn't work? What do you want to do? Who's your competition? What's your social media? Like I dig into your stuff. And then from there, I do my research. I dig into it. I spend 2 days developing a strategy for you. And then we jump on a Zoom call. It's face-to-face, and we thug it out for an hour and a half, and we build a strategy for you. So that's what I do most days. So it just depends on what you want to do, which way you want to go. I do it for business and I do it for life. Everybody's not an entrepreneur. Some people just be like, I just want to upscale my life. I don't want to start a business, but I do want to go further in my career. So I have an upscale my life strategy session and I have an upscale my business strategy session. And Dr. Will Moreland, boom. Anthony Ruffin, The CEO Way by Lene. Love that as a book title. You know what? The CEO Way by Lene. Queen House is glad I caught this info. You are so welcome. Thank you, Hebrew Israelites of Tampa Bay. Nika says, thanks for always bringing such valuable knowledge. The sharing of your gracious mind serves as my amazing toolbox that fuels to keep me motivated and inspired. You're so welcome. All right, cool. Dante says, I like the letter. I'll be in touch. Absolutely. You can, If you go to my website, www.lenejavet.com, at the top it says strategy sessions. If you click on strategy sessions, you'll see all 3 of my strategy sessions are on there. I will tell you that I'm doing a little Black Friday something or another. So I'll be talking about the next time I go live, I'll be talking about that. Or if you're interested, just hit me in my inbox and I'll make sure I give you the code. So I will be doing something special for Black Friday. It will be on my courses as well as my strategy sessions. My courses, I have a way bigger discount. It's like 40% off my courses. I cannot reduce my strategy sessions that low because it's my brain, it's my intellect, it's my thought. You know what I'm saying? I can't reduce me, but my courses I don't mind doing a steep discount on. So yeah. All right. With that being said, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you guys for showing up and tuning in today. I haven't been online in a minute, but it blessed my heart and soul to have you guys here with me today to talk about going from entrepreneur, overwhelmed, underpaid, working too hard, entrepreneur, to established, confident, sitting on the beach, kicking back a margarita CEO. Okay? Please, please, please go like me, support me, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, like, follow if you're watching this on Facebook. Please go support my IG. I'm trying to work on that as we speak. And I will see you guys later this week. We will be talking about the customer experience. With that, be blessed, be one. Peace.